What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on out there, America? We in the building. It's Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show. We back. It's your boy Rod Don. SKRAPP is in the building, representing Philly in the house. And we got a lot to talk about this weekend regarding the AFC and the NFC championship games. Listen, y'all, boy. Some of y'all gonna get some heat today. Some of the players that should have been doing their thing, they're about to get some heat. But we're gonna talk about it for sure. But listen, before we get all into it, fellas, we just need everybody out there to like and subscribe. What up, YouTube? What up, Facebook? We see you in the building. We thank you for the love and the support. We thank you for everything y'all been doing for real, man. It's been real out there. Our numbers are going up. We appreciate the engagement. You know what I'm saying? We coming out here live and y'all getting on here, man. So remember, man, y'all tell us how y'all feel out there. We're going to talk about these games, and we're going to get in it. It's still Don's world. You know what I'm saying? Don is doing his thing, smiling still. Here it is, man. What are we, 19 weeks later? Don is still smiling. You know what I'm saying? And still doing his thing. Look at the teeth. Look at the teeth. Yeah. And then there was one, SKRAPP. Then there was one. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's how it looks, man. That's how it is. The 242's out of it, man. You know what I'm saying?
242's
out of it. 242's out of it, man. But it's all good. But listen, how y'all feeling out there, fellas? Y'all good?
Yeah, actually, I'm feeling good, man. I'm happy with obviously the outcome of this past weekend. No complaints.
Sure,
it was good. It was good, man. Listen, a lot of stuff about Brock Purdy should be really. Listen, they should kill it. Kill a lot of that stuff.
I got something to say on that. That might be interesting to you. I got something to say on that. Yeah.
He's a clutch player, man. We'll see what's up, man.
We'll see.
SKRAPP, you got anything?
SKRAPP, you good?
I'm good, man. I've been enjoying stress-free football, this weekend. I will be in 2 weeks. Stress-free, man. Just let my box hit. That's all I need is my boxes to hit. That's it. Stress-free.
I feel you, bro.
Cool.
I hear that.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, conference championship was this past weekend, man. And man, so we had number 1 seed, right? The Ravens hosting Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champs. And so this has to be, I have to say this has to be super disappointing for Lamar Jackson. He accomplished a lot, but at the same time, it has to be a little frustrating. They were the number 1 seed. They dominated the entire season. Season they dominated.
Facts.
Lamar Jackson reports he's going to win his 2nd MVP. Their defense was dominant. Lamar Jackson showed a different element to his game. Pocket. He was able to pass in the pocket as well as run the ball. So they were number 1 running offense. And then when they got to host a game, for whatever reason, they just went away from it. They were running the ball decently, and they just went away from running the ball. What got them there, different people have said that they feel that Lamar Jackson was too much in his own head and feeling like he had to prove something to the people that said that, when he was drafted or prior to him being drafted, why don't you become a tight end? Why don't you become a wide receiver or something? He felt maybe by his play, which was uncharacteristic of how the success and how they've gotten to the AFC Championship game, they totally went away from it. So for me, I find it to be a disappointment. And when you get to the final 4 teams, when you get to teams, especially that have had success, we're not talking about Cinderella stories where teams just come out of nowhere. It is Super Bowl or bust. So this has to be very, very disappointing for him. Now, to his credit, every time he's a number 1 seed, every time he wins the MVP, the Niners go to the Super Bowl. So I don't have a problem with that. Thank you, Lamar. I appreciate that. There's a correlation to that. So I'm not knocking it. Win more MVPs. Be the number 1 seed again next year. It doesn't matter. But if it guarantees and somehow kind of works and aligns with us going to the Super Bowl again, I'm all for it. What do you guys say?
Yo, man, I feel like this, man. It's very, very disappointing for Lamar. Very disappointing because I don't want to go there, but like Dallas, right?
What's up, Jay?
You had everything in your favor. What's up, Jay? Good to have you, bro. You had everything in your favor. You know what I mean? You got the defending Super Bowl champions in your building, and like you said, Don, they've been dominating all year long. This one is on Todd Monken, man. I don't care. Him and Lamar, both of them. I think they share the brunt. Lamar not using his legs, not going with the instincts that has made him potentially the two-time league MVP, right? And when you get away from the very thing, which is antithetical to what we'll probably go when we get ready to talk about the Lions and Niners, right? Because there's sometimes when you got to not do what you've been doing to get you where you are, to be a little smarter, right? But when you talk about Lamar and instinctively being a great quarterback with his legs still being a factor, I don't know if he was trying to prove that he can outsling Mahomes from the pocket or prove to people he can be the pocket passer. He looked look, Lamar has taken strides with his arm. He has definitely gotten to be a better quarterback from the pocket, a lot more accuracy, putting the ball on the numbers. Lamar has definitely evolved as a quarterback, but make no mistake, y'all. Lamar, his strength is in his legs. Like you can't get away from your legs. You can't, especially in an AFC Championship game, right? And and then not only that, there was no design runs for him, nor for their backs. They only had I think they stopped running the ball, the backs, after 5 minutes in the first quarter. So like Monken just completely, to your point, Donald, got away from running the ball, and I just didn't understand that. You know what I mean? You got Lamar backpedaling back. One play was 3rd and 1. And he's in shotgun backpedaling. Like, I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I just don't understand and we've been saying this all year, fellas. And Scrap, you really been putting this, been saying it to a degree with the problems that they had in Philly, the issues in Dallas. You know what I'm trying to say? We've seen a lot of guys, a lot of teams this year just botch up easy wins because the coaches or the OCs want to get cute. They want to do something outside of who they are. And just stick. That's why I don't care, man. Call me what you want, but this football today ain't nothing like the 80s and 90s. And I'll just say the 80s and 90s. Anything from 2000 on, it's like new school hip hop to me, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's trash, bro. You gotta give me old school, give me fundamentals. I'm not saying I'm one of those, old men like, yo, get off my lawn kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, man, you gotta go back. You got to keep it with the basics. And when I say basics, stick to what you do. Be innovative, be creative, be imaginative, be all those things you got to be offensively and even defensively. But at the end of the day, you got to be what you are when you're doing your play calls and going to what works. And I lastly said, I'm going to say this all throughout the show as we talk about these games today. The great ones and the superstars, they step up. When all else fails, they step up. And you didn't see that from Lamar. You didn't see him take that next level like we see Patrick Mahomes. And we just got to say, Mahomes is on a whole nother level, fellas. So when we talk about the top quarterbacks, let's not even mention Mahomes. Let's just forget he even exists. Because the truth is, it's him.
You got to keep. You're just saying that because you want Dak to slide into the 10th spot. We're going to keep Mahomes in it. We're going to keep Mahomes in it because I know you don't want to count them because you're trying to say.
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Dak, I wouldn't even put Dak in top 10. Trust me. Listen, you're going to get a whole lot of less resistance from me come season 3. All right? Trust me. You're going to be beat against the air, fighting yourself, bro.
Why you're a little vulnerable. Is Brock Purdy better than Dak?
Yes, right now. Yeah, right now.
Oh, for this show or
right now
in reality?
Well, let me put it to you. Okay, let me temper my response.
Earlier
here,
in the season, you were.
How are you asking the question? You mean is he a better quarterback overall? Like, is he a better quarterback? Because I don't think he's a better quarterback than Dak, but he's a better player in the sense.
What are you talking
I'm gonna tell you.
about?
Yeah, he's a better player. In other words. And we'll get more. I'm trying to reserve some of my commentary for my assessment of Purdy's play, but concerning the NFC Championship game. But to answer your question, no, he's not a better quarterback than Dak. Dak, from a pure perspective of quarterbacking, No, Dak is a better quarterback than Purdy. Better arm, I think. But then,
what else? Arm, everything. Marcus Russell could throw 70 yards on his knees. Does that make him a good quarterback?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay, so if we go by arm strength, that has to be that narrative. We have to kind of put that to rest. Yeah, there's probably a lot of quarterbacks that have stronger arms, but when we speak of accuracy, I mean, everything was on full display. Being able to maneuver in the pocket, knowing when to run, have the clock. But we're not talking about the Niners yet. But
I was about to say we jump ship right to the Niners, huh?
Yeah, we don't want to jump. We don't want to jump to the Niners. I'm gonna throw it to Scrap. You see, I always pull him in though, Scrap. I get him worked up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But before I'm gonna throw it to Scrap. I just want to say again, this game here is on Monken, the OC, in Lamar. That's it. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Why the Ravens lost. No, I'll add another third ingredient in there. And of course, Mahomes being Mahomes. That's just it. So those are your 3 reasons why the Ravens lost. Mahomes is Mahomes. Lamar was not Lamar. And Monken called a horrible game by all stretches of the imagination. So that's my take on that so far. What say you, Scott?
Well, first of all, shout out to my uncle in the comments, my Uncle Buck. What's up, Unc?
What up, Unc? What's good?
Yeah, Nelson, that's my uncle. But what I will say is now with Lamar, who do we compare him to? Is it safe to say he's like Michael Vick? Because I mean, I know you said a glorified Dak, right? But Dak didn't win an MVP, so I'm going to say he's more like Michael Vick. He made it to the championship game, can't get past it. Every year, he finds a way to fail in the playoffs. And I was reading something on Facebook today. Somebody was coming out, to Lamar's rescue, say, "Oh, how come he gets the blame for that?" And I just told him, I said, "That's the glory position. The quarterback is the glory position. You get all the glory and you get all the blame. A lot of blame comes with that hefty paycheck you get." Facts. Okay, now we can blame the offensive coordinator. Trust me, I've been doing it all season. And yeah, like you said, Rob, how many times have we seen teams go away from what works? Sometimes it's okay to keep it simple. Keep it simple. Run the ball. If that's been working for you all game, run the ball. Okay, you want to get cute. You want to pull out the the hook and ladder and all that. And when you gamble, it's a 50% chance that you're going to fail. So. Baltimore had nobody to blame but themselves. And the Chiefs just did what they were supposed to do. They capitalized on mistakes, and like you said, Mahomes is all world. Then all of a sudden, now all of a sudden Valdez-Scantling can catch.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what? What I will say is the Ravens receivers started to show their age and immaturity. Because when Zay Flowers caught that long ball, wanted to stand over top of the guy and taunt him,
spin the ball, right?
That was so dumb.
If you get penalties for that in the regular season, what makes you think you're not going to get them in the playoffs? And in that game,
the way he did it, yeah,
exactly. And that I mean, I understand the emotions, the adrenaline's pumping and all that, but you got to be able to control yourself. You do that, and that's what you do once you score a touchdown. Then you spin the ball and act like a fool. And the penalty yards won't affect you much because to be on the kickoff. Now he done backed them up, and then it was just a disaster.
Yeah,
and then well, some of the receivers did drop some passes. My buddy Aguilar came back to his regular self, dropped this.
Oh yeah, he definitely got pass. Yeah. That's definitely cough drops, definitely.
Yeah, so it's just man. I mean, but who didn't see this coming though, right? Who didn't see? I told y'all I'm not I told you so guy, but I told y'all weeks ago both number 1 seeds is not going to make it to Vegas, and I also told Don just hope it's not y'all, but I knew that one of the number 1 seeds wasn't going to make it to Vegas. It's all too perfect. Now I got an advanced copy of the script. I'm gonna say that for the preview show. But this I'm just gonna say this ends in a love story.
Oh Lord! Oh,
gonna be a love story.
That sounds like that's working in Don's favor.
No. I know what he's getting at, and that's fine. If people read the description, I'm taking that he's alluding to the fact that Taylor Swift and Kelsey's going to propose to her if they win the Super Bowl. Knock it off. It's not going to happen.
He's going to propose to that chick, man, underneath.
Not going to happen, D.
Underneath of crimson and, red and gold confetti, man. It's going to be too perfect. Storybook ended, man.
That's what you're looking for, D, right?
No.
How you do that again?
That's what we're looking for.
Oh man, I forgot to go with my, my.
You know what?
Magic,
If you click on that little green, you click on your camera up there, Matt, Scrap, and then you just click down. You'll see reactions, and then hit that button reactions. And then you can click. You can actually hit the button because I can't remember all the signs either. So I got
to
do this.
Is there a reaction for elimination from both of your teams being eliminated? Is there
it is
elimination?
Yeah,
right.
It's bad.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
The chairs come flying down the thing.
So this is what I'll say. Now, I'm interested in what you guys take is. Who was the most impressive quarterback this weekend? It was because Mahomes and Kansas City won. As much as people like to say, and we're about to go into the Lions-Niners, that the Lions lost the game, and the Lions lost, and the Niners didn't win. Yeah. Think about how Kansas City played and how Lamar Jackson actually helped the defense by not running, by remaining in the pocket. So when you think about it, understand that Kansas City didn't score any points in the second half. So 17 points? I mean, I know their defense is good. I know they have the number 1 ranked defense. But do you think, first question, and this might be a preview kind of statement, do you think the Niners are going to abandon the run? I don't care if Purdy throws for 500 yards. Do you think they're going to abandon the run? The answer is no. They're never going to. They're never going to. So the things that, and I know that overall Kansas City this is the best defense that Mahomes has had, right? But it's the worst offense, right? And so Travis Kelce, they did not try to they made no adjustments to take Kelce away. How does someone have 9 for 9 in the first quarter and you don't feel like we have to at least try to bracket him or give him some hard hits to kind of give him alligator arms? They let him get, and it's not like Kelce. Kelce has been playing well in the playoffs. Yeah. But his whole season, he was one of the.
Oh, now he did have 93 receptions, though. He had a lot of drops, but he did have 93 receptions for 1,000 yards. I mean, but that's Kelce still had a very good season.
That's a Jason Witten stat. If you are force fed, then you will have those type of. If you throw to someone 10 times and they catch it 6 times, you know what I mean? You're like,
he's still their number 1 threat. I mean, regardless of who's on the ends, he was always.
Yeah, he's their number 1, 2, and 3 receiver.
Yeah, right. Because when the other players were dropping it, so I'm saying because he has 93 receptions, and shout outs to Kelce, he passed Jerry Rice for the most postseason receptions. Shout out to, and then CMC, of course, he passed Jerry Rice for the most. I think most touchdowns for a season. Yeah. But I'll say this. If Travis Kelce, they show you that all they really have for the most part, because even Pacheco didn't have a great game, right? If they're showing you all they have is Mahomes, which is he's the best quarterback, and Travis Kelce, is that enough to beat the Niners? I say no, but clearly it was enough to beat Baltimore, who got away from what made them, because 17 points, holding the team to 17 points when you average 30 or 28 is totally unacceptable. That already lets you know that you're pretty much out of your comfort zone or your pocket of what you can normally do. And it was at home.
I feel you on that, but I'm gonna say this though, D. But again, that's why you separate the greats from just everything else. When you look at Mahomes, and even when what you were saying about whether it's enough or not enough for Kansas City to have even beaten Baltimore, or even in 2 weeks against the 49ers. The truth of the matter is, bro, and even with Kelce, we take for granted their greatness, bro. We take for granted how good these guys are, and particularly when the lights are on. all year long, their offense has not been good. We know that, right? I mean, they were struggling to get 15 points.
We even counted them out at one point. We counted
them out. We said this team, no way. This is going to be a team where, you know what, KC going to take a break this year. They're going to sit out, get better. They're going to revamp their receiving core, and then they'll come back. And then, you know, we expect them to be a better team, right? But bro, look what they're in the Super Bowl with, leading the league with the most drops, average receivers, Hall of Fame tight end. You talk about Baltimore not making adjustments, but at the end of the day, D, even if they made adjustments, do you really think? I mean, and granted, we know Lamar played bad, and the offense was a bad play calling game for Monken and that side of the ball. But at the end of the day, D, it don't matter. Like, Mahomes is going to beat you when it counts, when it matters. The only reason why they really even lost to Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, because he had 2 of his all-world linemen out. You know what I'm saying? And he still had a lineman out in this game against Baltimore. Tooney. So yeah. I'm saying, like, the truth of the matter is, the dude knows how to win. He takes, like, when everything else is off script, everything else ain't working, I got an average group of guys around me. I don't have no real studs, but I'm the dude. I know how to elevate my team and get them over the top, no matter what you present on the other side of the ball. It doesn't matter. And that's the truth of the matter. So when you look at Mahomes, like, we can't underappreciate it. I see what you're saying about Kelsey, but the truth is, it only goes to show that Kelsey is that dude. Kelsey was all playoffs long these last 2 games. He is balled out. He is definitely, he's catching passes. He's obviously the routes, the TDs, the blocking. They're using him, and they just know how to win when it matters. And that's just what championship teams do. They just got that type of championship medal in them. So that's why I say it's Mahomes and the rest of the league. And when we preview the Super Bowl, that's really what it's going to be boiled down to, bro. It's going to be Mahomes. That's it. And can you beat Mahomes?
So is it safe to say, based on you and Scrapp's response, that I already know where you guys are coming from, what approach you're taking? He thinks it's going to be a wedding on the field, and you think we have no chance. That I like that. I like to be in that position, because I think we will. Like I had mentioned to you guys before, I don't want us to be the favorite going into it. I want us to be the underdog. And from when the line originally started at 2.5, it's now 1.5. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that's going to get it down to probably a pick'em or something like that.
And who's favorite to win?
Right now we are.
The Niners are favorite?
Last I saw they were 2. Wow. Oh, it's 1.5 now?
1.5?
Yeah, it's 1.5. It's just,
okay.
You know.
It's going to jump. It's going to jump.
Vegas is playing around with people. It's going to get to a pick'em or 1 point or something like that. And everybody is going to be like, man, Mahomes, 1 point? You're giving him a point? You're giving him a point? And so people are going to be, you know, kind of fooled by that. But it's all well and good. I know. I've heard this before. I've heard it before. I've seen a lot of that.
Hearts again.
Yeah, it's all good,
NFC
man.
East, but but we hold it down. We still got bowls.
You know the deal, James. You know the deal. Okay,
James.
This is, 2019. This had just happened 2019, and so let's talk about the Niners.
Let's go at it. That's where we want to go anyway. Let's go.
Enough,
man. Enough is enough. Lamar doodled in the bed. Forget it. We know he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Right. Well, listen. Let me ask you this before you go to the Niners, though, D.
Sure.
Do y'all really believe, though? Do you believe that Lamar will get into a Super Bowl at some point? Do you think he will?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
He's
right?
young enough.
I believe so too.
I think so. I think he will.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of Lamar Jackson, and this is what I think he needs to do. Completely, when you have the hardware, right? KD, right? When you have the hardware, all the people that don't have it, their opinion doesn't matter. Charles Barkley's opinion on Kevin Durant having hardware does not matter.
Why?
So Lamar should have took that. It doesn't matter if they call me a running back after the game that I had a 200 yards rushing. You know, when we played, Colin Kaepernick played Green Bay, 180 yards rushing. Who cares? At the end of the day, he got the W. So Lamar has to a certain degree, when he gets to that level, by any means necessary. It shouldn't matter how he gets the W. But if you trying to, I'm gonna prove y'all, I'm a pocket quarterback, I could be just as good. Or I have to do this, or I have to do that. If you are consumed by the opinions of others, you're never going to reach your goals. You're never going to accomplish it because there'll always be people that say you can't do it. So he has to get out of his own way. His skill set is good enough for him to get that W, for him to hoist the trophy. But if he is too just confined by people's opinions, we didn't think you was a quarterback. You came from Louisville and we didn't know, and that he has proven this is, and there's been a lot of talk. If he never plays another down with 2 MVPs, he is already in the Hall of Fame. Already. There has not been now. He would also be the only quarterback with 2 MVPs to not be in the Super Bowl. But I mean, it's safe to say he's going to the Hall of Fame based on credentials alone.
I mean, unless he just has a miserable career going forward. But no, we don't foresee that. Yeah, I would say that. I think he has cemented himself probably going into the Hall of Fame based on the standards of quarterback play today. Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Is that Dave, the Patriots fan, coming back into the chat? We appreciate you.
Yeah, that's
Tom
Dave.
Brady. Tom Brady was on one of the shows today. We appreciate all the Brady fans coming because let me tell you what Brock Purdy has an opportunity to do. He has an opportunity to beat not one GOAT, but 2 GOATs, both GOATs. He beat Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady had 50 people come to the game, right?
Wait, who beat him out that again?
Brock Purdy beat Tom Brady.
Brock Purdy beat Tom Brady. When did he beat him? I don't remember that.
Last year?
That's because you don't know. Last year.
Okay.
Tom Brady's last year, right? There was supposed to be all the pomp and circumstance. He came back, hometown kid, 50 people in the stands. Only to get tore out the frame.
You do know Tampa Bay was a bad team, right?
They won the Super Bowl, did they not?
Yeah, but they were a bad team. You talking about last year? You talking about last year?
It had to be 20.
It had to be last year because he didn't start. Yeah, so
it was
last year.
Yeah, they they won their division with an under 500 record. I mean, they were a bad team. Beating Brady, that's like we beat Brady too. Dallas beat Brady too in the playoffs, and we sent Brady his last memories of football is 35-7 L that he took to the Cowboys in Tampa Bay. But nobody cares about that.
Well, yeah.
Nobody talks about that.
I remember you having a lot of air in your lungs when you came on.
Because Tampa Bay they were not a good team, and Tom struggled last year. I mean, he didn't play really well in his final season, and Tampa Bay was just a bad team. They were a bad team. They really were, D. I mean, you can't now, D. Come on, now, D. Come on.
Tampa Bay was a bad team this year, and they beat the starch out of us.
Yeah. I mean, no, but Tampa Bay was.
We destroyed him, and you know what? Jared Goff had 50 people come, and when I heard he had,
but you didn't beat him when they counted. But that's not beat. Now, if you beat Mahomes in 2 weeks, that's different. But you beat Brady in a regular season game. And he was playing for a bad team.
That was the only time we had an opportunity to play him.
I know, but I'm just saying, but you can't add that in there like that. You gotta. No, D. I mean,
we only play who's on our schedule.
Lord, here we go.
That's what you said the whole season,
right? But I never touted those victories as being like, yo, we beat the all-time greats.
Somebody on this show said most of your schedule is comprised of bad teams.
Right, but we're not talking about schedule. We're talking about you bigging up the fact that Purdy beat an all-time great. Purdy beating
those bearded icons said that your season is comprised of losing of bad teams. You're only going to play a handful of winning teams, right?
Yeah, I said that.
I remember that.
I'm saying that Tom Brady,
right?
When we talk about, just like when we talk about NBA players, you have the top, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, whatever. We talk about, there's 3 quarterbacks that we talk about, maybe 4, right? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, or Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Patrick Mahomes, right? That's the order, right? That we talk about typically, right? And it wasn't until Tom Brady won in Tampa Bay, that championship, that we put him above Joe Montana, right? Because it used to be
Yeah,
Joe was the man, right? So
I think he was the best quarterback ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, Joe was the end all be all.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion too. Yes.
Yeah.
And to now take away from him, I'm just saying, he has played arguably the best quarterback that most people will give it up. David will say, yeah, he was 45, but he knew that when he signed up to play, right?
But you're not.
Joe Louis was 137 years old when he fought him.
Right, right, exactly.
But D, you gotta be fair to the context, though, D. But D, you gotta be fair. That's not.
But he lost. He lost.
Yeah, but D, that's not. But you're not keeping that. That's not fair. You got to put it in better context. You can't brag that he beat Tom Brady when it didn't count. Like when we think of Brady, we think or Montana or Mahomes. We're thinking about playoffs. We're thinking about meaningful wins after the regular season is over. We're thinking about Super Bowls. You beat Tom Brady in week 4 when he's 45 years old playing for a bad Tampa Bay team. Because let's just be honest, Tampa Bay was really supposed to be a one and done thing, right? Tom Brady was not going to be their franchise quarterback, so it was only just to get a ring.
When he won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, how old was he?
He was 44, but D, he wasn't.
Okay, and if LeBron James and the Lakers win, will you say he's 39? Will you use that as an excuse? Oh, he's 39 if he loses or if he wins? No.
What I'm going to say, D, is that if the fact is that but he's number 1 at that age, right? But who
hasn't?
I'm saying LeBron hasn't won at an older age. You know what I'm saying? He won when he was relatively still.
He just won the in-season tournament.
Well, yeah, they just won the in-season tournament.
No one cares about no in-season tournament.
He was 39 when they won the
in-season maybe the Sixers who haven't won since 83, but but I'm just saying.
He was 38.
Hey, what you punching down on me for, man? I'm trying to help your argument.
He's in a corner and he's swinging.
I'm sorry, Scrap.
Nobody should. Yeah, he's in a corner.
No, but D, you're not going to do that on this show. No, you're not going to do that on this show. Now, if you beat Mahomes in a Super Bowl, Purdy, that's a nice piece of your resume. Is that like a moment
where, like a passing of the torch moment, like when Joe Louis beat Ali and who's the dude that beat Sugar Ray Leonard half to death? Terry Norris. Terry Norris. Is it like one of those moments where you just, beat up on somebody?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On your way out?
Yeah, you're on your way out. You're like, we beat the greatest. You can't, Right, he didn't. That's my point, David. Thank you. We've never beat Tom Brady until last year in the playoffs when he was 45. Right, we sent him home, like home. Like he really retired after that, right? But no one's like, Brady, that beat Brady. Like even though that was a playoff game and all, I get it, but that's not the Tom. And that team was bad. There was nothing Tom was going to be able to do to overcome that team. That team was bad. That was a bad Buccaneer team. They were under 500 winning their division. I mean, come on. There was a bad
1777 memorabilia. Who's your team? Are you a Kansas City fan?
49ers got no shot, man. What's up, BK? What up? What's going on, memorabilia? Yeah, BK. He probably from Brooklyn. Moving the goalposts. I Mr. Irrelevant there. No, I'm not. But no, because you can't say beating Tom Brady is a feather in his cap when Tom Brady was 91 years old playing with a D2 division team. Like, come on, you not going to do that. No, we're not doing that. Not at all. If the Cowboys can't brag about beating Brady in the playoffs at 45, then Purdy's not going to get that in a regular season, bro. No, we're not doing that. No, you don't get that. You can't get that. Okay.
You just like to pick winners. Cool. Sounds good.
You just like to pick winners.
All right. Good. Thanks for joining. Yeah, listen, we love it. We appreciate it, man.
That's what's up.
Speaking of winners.
All right. So speaking of NFC Championship winners, go ahead.
Okay, so 49ers hosted Detroit Lions. Shout out to all my peeps that are in Detroit. What up, though? Right? My boy DeMarvelous and his family. Appreciate you guys. Listen, I'm gonna give Detroit some respect, man. They did what Dallas could not do. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Wait.
Whoa.
No.
Here we go. Here we go.
You salute in 1777.
I'm just welcoming him to the show.
So
I said thanks for joining.
Welcome to the show.
It's welcome to the show. Just show us some love. Last week, Scrap. Was you listening in on the show?
I already told you.
Was you listening to the show?
I told
D
you.
was disrespecting Detroit. And I told D, I said, D,
No.
underestimate Detroit. Don't do that. And you was not showing them any love, D. We're going to blow them. It's going to be a blowout.
You were talking about, and I'll say this, you were talking about Debo's shoulder, and he was going to have pads all over, and they were coming for his shoulder. Did Debo look like he was hurt?
No. See, D,
and what did Debo say when they asked, are you going to protect? I'm not protecting nothing.
He said that. But we're not talking about Debo. We're talking about you not showing Detroit no respect last week, saying you was going to blow them out. Now you coming back saying, I want to show them some respect.
No.
I want to show them some love.
Because we're gracious in victory and defeat. So I want, they made it. They did, and if you interrupted me, they did what the Cowboys could not do. They made it to an NFC championship game only to lose, right? At the end of the day, there's only one winner and one loser, right?
But at least, but you are admitting that you underestimated Detroit. Can you say that?
Oh my
gosh!
No!
America, did you see the silence? The silence. Did you see the?
Can I answer? Can I answer,
to the hills
sir?
From which? Did you see
No. Can I say this? Can I answer? They played better than I anticipated, right? Because I thought we would have been able to apply more pressure to Goff. Clearly, I had made my whole pick and even the score, right?
Yeah.
Was based on Jared Goff being under immense pressure. And as I said in the last show, if people watch it, I said, given the two, if you apply pressure to Purdy and you apply pressure to Goff, I like Purdy's chances. He had 49 yards rushing.
Yeah. No doubt.
He was in the second half. 6 first downs were based on his arm and his legs. So he did what Lamar couldn't do, the MVP, right?
Yeah.
He did. Detroit did what the Cowboys could not do. They made it to an NFC championship game. So yes, of course I'm going to give them respect.
But they was already in the NFC championship game last week when you was talking about them, and you still didn't give them no respect. Now you waited until they played. Now you want to say, oh, they're really a good team now.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? They were good before the game started.
Respect is earned. They earned that respect. I'm not just handing it away, right? Okay. I'm not handing respect. I respect them. They played a good game. They played a good game.
Okay. But you didn't think they were capable of playing that.
So let me tell you, let me just give everybody a little bit of context. 2016.
And I'm gonna shut up after this. Scrap, it's on you after D goes.
Yeah,
I know I've been monopolized. The D making me mad, man.
Good. I'm glad I'm making you mad. 2016, Jared Goff was drafted #1 overall. Right?
Oh Lord.
First round, first pick.
There we go.
First round, first pick. 2022. Now we already know Jared Goff has been to the Super Bowl. He with the Rams, they lost the game. He was sent to Detroit into outer darkness, if you will.
Exile. He was exiled
to Detroit, and he has made lemonade out of lemons. So he has played really well. Yeah,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Brock Purdy, 2022, 7th round pick, 262. His pick was the last pick in the draft. Some people say Mr. Irrelevant, right? But the 2016 stuck with me for some reason. I'm like, 2016, that number I've seen before. The Bible says in Matthew 20:16, so the last will be first and the first will be last. So Jared Goff, even though you were the first pick in the draft, you will last this game. So I appreciate that Brock Purdy played within his skill set. And of course, we know that in any interview that he gives, he always gives glory to God, right?
Yeah, he does.
Because he's in a lot of ways, he's up against bigger name quarterbacks. Obviously, everyone that he will ever play will be drafted higher than him, right? And so what do they expect this guy to do? He doesn't let you tell it. He doesn't have the strongest arm, right? Dak is a bigger quarterback. Of course, now he's up against Patrick Mahomes, right? In the Super Bowl. Of course, Patrick Mahomes can throw 70 yards. He can do this. He can do that. Mm-hmm. But Brock Purdy somehow finds a way to win, right? And if you think about it from the standpoint of our running game, Brock Purdy was the driving force for us actually winning the game. Am I lying? He was.
No,
it was
I agree
on
with you.
his legs. It was
totally
on
agree.
his arm. It was
Yeah.
on his ability to extend the plays.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So I want to caution everyone to automatically write off Brock Purdy because he was the last pick in the draft. At some point, someone should have, the respect should be put on his name. What he was able to do, right? He was able to play and play at a high level. Now, if we go through, now keep in mind, this is his first full season. This guy had surgery, Tommy John surgery a year ago, and he is back. He's in the Super Bowl. Last year, he got knocked out of the NFC Championship game super early. Had Tommy John surgery and is back in the Super Bowl. But all season, nobody will give him any credit. It's all the players around him.
Yeah, I got something to say to that.
But now that he's there, right? Because I even heard Shannon Sharp. I watched him, I guess, yesterday. And they asked, okay, does this quiet the crowd? Well, let's see what he does in the Super Bowl. Nobody is held to that standard.
I didn't agree with him on that. Yeah,
that was a terrible take.
Yeah, that was a terrible.
I gotta see what he does in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I gotta see what he does in the Pro Bowl. Can he? I mean, he was
exactly.
I agree.
And so
I
for
agree
you
with
to
that,
say,
yeah.
for you to say that Brock Purdy, number one, Brock Purdy has to. Okay, we want Brock Purdy. We know what the Niners are when they're ahead. When they're ahead, you have no shot. If they get a lead with Brock Purdy, now with Jimmy G. You were susceptible to giving up a lead, i.e. the last Super Bowl we were in. But with Brock Purdy, if the Niners get a lead on you, pretty much it's a wrap. We want to see Brock Purdy when he has a lead. Brock Purdy, he's phenomenal when he has a lead. We want to see him when he's down, when he's losing. Can he come back? Does he have the intestinal fortitude and the grit to come back and win the game? He's proven in the playoffs that he was down both games. 17 points, and I think against Green Bay, he was down by 4 or 7 points and was able to grit and come back and get a W. So at some point, when are we going to give him his just due? And I realize it is hard for people, as we talked about Lamar Jackson and his perception, trying to overcome people's perception of you. Sometimes it's hard for the individual to do that. But Brock Purdy has superseded and surpassed his draft status, his draft pick, and his play. He has proven to be a top. Clearly, I had already said he was a top 10 quarterback, but thinking about it, he is edging into the maybe top 7 or 8 now. He has to be, given his success. Last thing before I pass it, do you realize that Brock Purdy has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott and Lamar Jackson combined?
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
It's on you, Scrap. You haven't talked in a while. Go ahead, man.
No, I was enjoying the show. Yeah. What I will say about Purdy is doing what he's supposed to do. Like, I mean, you can put all the praise on what he has around him, but he has to get the ball to these people. He has to make the decisions, as far as who to throw to, when to throw to, and when to run. I mean, he played a heck of a game the second half. But if I can go back to our text thread, it just. I mean, who didn't see the Niners coming back winning that game? I mean, anybody here didn't see them coming back winning that game?
Well, you guys were texting eyeballs, and you were trying to keep me under pressure.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, but I wasn't under pressure. So, yeah.
I didn't say pressure. I said who didn't think they were going to come back to win.
I didn't think they was going to come back to win. Yeah.
You didn't think they were going to come back to win?
Not when it was 24-7. No. Not even when it was 24-10. I only knew that it was going to change after the lucky IU catch and then the fumble by Gibbs. Then I knew the game was over. It was unraveling for them at that point.
Even after in the text thread, I laid out to you what was going to happen, and you thought I was going to be wrong. I mean, I was wrong about the means of the turnover. I said
I can't remember if your text came in before the Gibbs fumble or after. I can't remember.
It was before.
It was before.
It was
before. Okay. All right.
This is what happened. After they didn't go for the field goal, I said the 49ers are going to score here, and then Goff is going to throw an interception, and then the 49ers are going to score again. Goff didn't throw an interception. They fumbled the ball, and then the 49ers scored again.
Yeah.
Like, what I don't understand about coaches is why they don't take what's given to them. And I even said it at halftime. I said, are they going to be mature enough to play from ahead? Right? Did I not say that? I said, are the Lions going to be mature enough to play from ahead? I said, they got this big lead. Are they just going to take what the Niners give them, or get greedy and try to go for the home run? And
I think you said that. I think I recall you saying that in the text.
Said that.
Yeah,
I absolutely said that. And they got greedy and went for the home run. Like, why not take the 3 points? Okay,
and I said that on the show also.
Yeah, not saying that the game, would have went any different if they would have took the 3, but maybe San Fran don't get that big momentum play on the very next drive if they got to start from the 25 with a fresh set of downs and not had the adrenaline to just stopping them on 4th down.
Right.
And then I mean, all that plays into it, but I saw that coming from a mile away. And yeah, Don, we was putting the odds in there because that's what we do during the game. We troll.
That's what we do. That's right. We troll, right?
Troll is part of the game.
We troll, right? We're gonna troll next week. In 2 weeks, we're gonna be trolling.
It's gonna be eyes all over the place.
That's
Unless y'all come out the gates on fire, then there would be no eyes. There would just be
no eyes.
Congratulations, you survived the gauntlet and the trolling, and enjoy your champagne. But until then, there will be trolling. Absolutely, it will be trolling. But yeah,
my question to you guys is, what more does Brock have to prove? Because if you say he has to prove something in the Super Bowl, then you're taking the Shannon Sharp approach to it, where I haven't seen enough. Like, every question that was posed about Brock Purdy, right? Other than he's not going to grow anymore, his arm may not get any stronger. But when you think about a quarterback that is only in his second season, first full season, second season, coming off of Tommy John surgery, not only doubling down on getting to the NFC Championship game, this time superseding that and getting to the Super Bowl, what can you say? There's nothing to really say about it. You got to just give it up.
I mean, okay, D, let me say this to you, though, bro. Did you want to say something that more further, Scrap? I'm sorry. I'm
about to say, he don't got to prove nothing to me. My team home, so whatever he do is, way to go, Brock.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say this, though. Brock impressed me in the sense that I do believe he silenced the critics. I believe in the sense, well, maybe not. He hasn't, because people still have their own ideas.
You're never going to
silence the critics. Right. Precisely, Scrap. I'd say for me, though, the 2 games in these playoffs with Green Bay and Detroit, particularly the Detroit game, Purdy stepped up like a true superstar. I have to admit, I have to give him that. It wasn't Debo, it wasn't Trent, wasn't Kittles, wasn't CMC, wasn't Ayuk, wasn't Juszczyk, it wasn't none of them dudes. That game on Sunday was won. Oh, Jesus. They were that game was won on the back and then on the legs of Brock Purdy. He did what you would want to see your superstar quarterback do. Running game, for all intents and purposes, was pretty much managed by Detroit. They were pretty much contained by Detroit and neutralized. He had to win that game with his arms and with his legs. And he found ways of evading the pressure, because here's what we always said. Can Purdy play well off script? Can he play outside of the lines of a Shanahan the first 20 plays of the script? And I'm going to tell you right now, Shanahan was doo-doo in that game. Doo-doo. He was trash in that game. If it wasn't for the first become last, last become first, Mr. Purdy, they lose that game because Shanahan had no clue what to do. After his first 15, 20 scripts was done, he was a rat. He's looking, fussing with Wilkes on the what you call it, looking around, all flustered. He had no answer for Detroit.
Whoa.
The offense he had no answer.
Wait a minute. It was the defense was getting gashed initially.
Right, but y'all was coming on the field and still wasn't doing anything. Y'all couldn't move the ball. Y'all was pretty much, for all intents and purposes, 3 and out. Maybe y'all got a couple first downs. Y'all showed no threat to drive the ball, no real movement. Y'all was out of sync offensively. There was nothing there. Shanahan had no clue as to what to do in that game. Now, if you talk about from the Detroit side, here's the thing. if it's not for the lucky ladybug catch by Ayuk and the
Which was
fumble,
a pass interference anyway, so he would have still
there wasn't no PI on that. They picked up the flag on that. They said they picked up the flag on that. There was no PI. They thought it was, and they picked the flag up.
He made the catch.
Nah, it didn't matter. They could still say it's a PI, and they just declined the penalty.
Let me ask you a question. How many times, and this is in the NBA, how many times do we see a ref, when someone gets fouled, wait to see if it goes in before they call it?
I mean, okay, well then that's all more the reason. Then you're making my point even more so, because the truth of the matter is
your point.
there was no PI on that play, D. The defender had a shot. He should have caught the ball. He also in a play for the ball, and his eyes are looking back for the ball. In fact, he's ahead of IU. IU is in a position of playing defense at this point. So that's why the flag gets picked up either way, or at least it should have been, which it was. But between that play and the Gibbs fumble, that's what changed everything. Now, of course, the Campbell calls atrocious. You take the 3 points, you go back up by 3 scores. Again, that changes Shanahan's whole proposition on now how he's going to play call, because now that you're back up, because all you do is
17 points.
Right, but you were up. You was up by 17 at the half. Y'all came out and y'all kicked a field goal. Not really that impressive. You wanted to get a score. You wanted to get a touchdown, but you got 3. If you kick the 3, you take the points. You just snatch that 3 points back from them again. Now we back at 17 again. Now, and all you got is now you're in the 6 minutes of the third quarter. All you got to do is win from the 6 minute from the third quarter almost to the 5 minute point in the fourth quarter. Now it's 27-10. You score one more touchdown, game is a wrap, because no momentum, to Scrapp's point. Fans is quiet, and now Shanahan don't know what to do. And no matter what Purdy would have been able to do, it would have been insurmountable for him to make a comeback if you down 34-10 or 34-17. It wasn't going to work.
Are you talking about Shanahan, or are you talking about Mike McCarthy?
I'm talking about who are we talking about? We're talking about Shanahan. We're talking about the illustrious, lauded, all the great platitudes of Mr. Imagination and Mr. Creative Shanahan. The rookie, the quarterback that was drafted last in the league, bailed him out, because he would have been on it. You think they trashed Lamar on Monday? Shanahan would have got the smoke on Monday. It was Purdy that saved his coach from being a failure again in the NFC Championship in the Super Bowl, D. Am I lying?
Richard Sherman brought up a lot of this. Everybody, instead of saying what did happen, goes to all the
Oh, my God. Oh, my. The guy who's saying is probably still today, and we'd have just given the ball to Marshawn Lynch? You mean that guy,
Yeah.
Richard Sherman? Yeah, okay.
But I mean,
well, that's not what happened.
We all agree with that, right?
But that's not what happened. But that's not right. We agree, but that's not what happened, right? He wants to talk about reality. That ain't what happened, though.
No. I
don't think it was a
he didn't bring it up. I don't think he brought it up. He said,
but I mean, but
reality is
they didn't hand the ball.
They didn't hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch. Now, we can do a direct correlation. If you're on the 2-yard line and Marshawn Lynch just ran for, 12 yards, right? The play before, or you're to the point where you're on the hash mark, you should run the ball in. That is a higher percentage than trying to squeeze
That's the only play.
That's the only play.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
So
I was reading a comment on James.
It is fair for Richard Sherman to say that. That was a bad coaching decision to try to force it in to I forget who they were trying to throw it to, instead of handing the ball off to Marshawn Lynch on the 2-yard line. It was a bad call. It was a bad move. But we know that is a direct correlation to them losing that game. Right. If they hand it off, nothing is 100%, right? But God,
understand that. Right.
But that's 99.9 that Marshawn would have punched it in.
Everyone would have done that. Yeah.
But you got to think about this. If Marshawn punches it in, he's the MVP, right? He's the MVP of that game. And you don't want, I'm just here so I don't get fined, to be the MVP. There's a lot of reasons.
I get all that, but what does that have to do with 2 major plays and 2 bad coaching decisions of the 49ers not going to the Super Bowl? If you don't get the lucky charm catch and you don't get the fumble by Jameer, which was a bad, again, just misdirection, going to the wrong side of the handoff.
Did you guys get the number
Campbell
2
making
seed?
2 bad catches. I mean,
did you get the number 2 seed based off of the same bad bonehead?
No,
calls?
you're right, and that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh well,
but here's what I'm gonna give y'all the credit. Despite Detroit's flaws in that second half, I'm still not going to take away from Purdy maximizing the opportunity of what Detroit was not able to capitalize.
Still got to execute, right?
You got to execute, and certainly Purdy execute. I have to say, I was silenced as a critic because here's my thing: can you make off-script plays? Can you move out the pocket and throw on the run when your pass pro breaks down, when your reads aren't there? What can you do? And James, no, Purdy, don't give it. Purdy, you're going to see James. You're getting crazy. Purdy is not no great throwing across the shoulder. No, that was a lucky catch by Jennings. That pass had never been thrown. Jennings just made a good catch. Okay.
So let me ask you a
question. Throwing across the body is not Purdy. He don't have an arm for that. His arm. That pass he threw to Ayuk catch down. I mean, that ball was still in the screen. They didn't even have to adjust the screen to see where the ball was. It was such a weak throw. Yeah.
That catch by Travis Kelce, right? And we're not comparing, right, Jennings to Kelce, right? The catch where he's completely laid out for the catch, right?
Yeah. You mean in the Baltimore game?
Correct.
The one where
sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. You need things to fall in your favor, right? Some things gratuitously happens for you. How do we forget when Tom Brady came back against Atlanta? Do you remember that Edelman catch? Do you remember the process?
That wasn't luck
back?
though. That was that. But I attribute that more to the effort of Edelman and his concentration to be able to
Ayuk didn't have concentration.
No, Ayuk got concentration.
So
it was a good play after the fact. But what I'm taking away is that before the concentration of Ayuk ever occurs, there would have been that would not have been the case. The dude would have picked the ball off, or at the minimum, knock it down. If he picks that ball off, then this Ayuk having concentration doesn't mean anything. Edelman, that was
Bayless.
pure effort by Edelman to get that ball.
That's
all I'm saying.
D, because you know what, and so you don't want that.
I agree, James.
Associated. You don't want to be associated with Skip Bayless because he said that. Who's your running back again? Who's Dallas's running back? Pollard is better than CMC. And then he said, then he had the nerve to say, he tweeted during the game, oh man, it seems like Gibbs is more explosive. I would take him over CMC.
Listen, you know that's Skip polarizing stuff.
I thought I turned him off, but when I come to the show, I don't expect a continuation of the Bayless takes. I mean, because
that's not a Bayless take. What D?
So Edelman's catch, there wasn't a little bit of luck in a historic comeback, but yet Brandon Ayuk's catch that took focus. He had to, according to you, he had to play defender and receiver all in one play. But that you don't give him any credit. But that's because you don't want to give Ayuk.
No, it's because if the defender, but D, and Keyshawn actually agreed. If you catch the ball as a defender,
ridiculous.
Let's be honest.
You see how they're teaming up on Sherm?
But Sherm don't like to be honest either. Sherm's a little bullheaded in some of his stupid takes too. The truth of the matter is that a lot of things go wrong. What he say? What he talking about? Listen, a lot of things go wrong for the 49ers to win. They were very fortunate. Yeah, I mean, D, that was a very fortuitous play, as you put it. If he catches the ball, the defender, I don't remember who the DB was, then it's a wrap. That game is a wrap right at that point. Or even if he knocks the ball down at the minimum, that shifted everything. So you can't sit here and tell me that, yes, I understand what Ayuk
that Jennings catch and all that. That wasn't a good catch. That wasn't a clutch play.
That's like somebody catching a ball pops up because he drops it, and then all of a sudden somebody gets the pick six and runs it in. You know what I'm saying? Gets the interception and runs it in for a pick six. I mean, things just go. You can't blame that on anybody else. I mean, the truth of the matter is that was a play that Detroit had, and they didn't capitalize on it. They had a pick.
off script plays, you still have to be able to execute, Rod.
No,
right?
he did. Purdy did that. I'm not taking away from that. Like I
So
told
that
you,
so the
Purdy
pass to Jennings,
my issues.
the pass to Jennings, he had the mind to lob the ball over to get to Jennings. Jennings made a wonderful catch, right? So it was there's a quarterback and a receiver.
Lob the ball over Jennings. Jennings was beat. Who lobbed the ball to a receiver that's already who's deep? The DB has already beat him to the spot. Why don't understand that?
Space, or was he completely? He had sight of vision, easy path to Jennings, or was pressure in his face?
No, there was no pressure on him at all when he made that throw. You go back to that play, he had a clean pocket. And he threw that ball. That was a first down play. It was 1st and 10. He had a clean pocket. He throws it down the field. That was a bad throw to begin with. He overthrew IU. That's what I'm saying. It was a bad throw.
He's talking about the Jennings. He's talking about the Jennings.
You're talking about the Jennings play. Oh, the one hand catch. Okay, what are you saying about the Jennings catch? The lob there?
He becomes defensive because he wants. That's when you know when a person becomes defensive and they're answering the questions that you didn't ask. They have a train of thought that Brock Purdy is always going to be 262. When that confetti is coming down, right? And he's crying, and his parents are there, and he's hugging them and kissing everybody, his girlfriend. And we're gonna.
That was on Jennings. So you giving credit to is Purdy supposed to make that kind of throw? Honestly, is that something that he's taught to do?
I'm giving credit.
What are you giving credit to?
Them. I'm
to
giving
Purdy
credit
and
to
Jennings.
Both of them. It was.
No, you don't give credit to Purdy for that throw.
You don't?
No, you don't. I don't think you do. I think that was just a better play by Jennings.
So let me ask you a question. When
Jennings
Patrick Mahomes is running out of bounds and he throws the ball with his left hand, you don't give him credit for a.
Did you just compare him to? Yeah, but he's not.
It's
Patrick
not a
Mahomes,
comparison. It's an off-script play that still equals a completion and a first down. That's all I'm saying.
It was a reckless throw in an off-script situation that his receiver bailed him out on by making a good catch. Okay. That's all that was. That was a reckless throw. Purdy should have never made that.
So left-handed, if you're a right-handed quarterback, throwing with your left is not reckless? Or because it's Patrick Mahomes?
But he's not Patrick Mahomes. You can't put only Mahomes can do that. Because we've seen Mahomes successfully do that. You can't. Purdy is not supposed to make. Purdy would never make a throw like that again, D. Mahomes does that with regularity. He does that with regularity. We all know Mahomes is behind the back, no look, all that, over the shoulder.
Andy Reid co-signs a lot of that.
D, because Mahomes can make those throws and plays, D.
But you
act like you, D.
But until he does it, right? Let me just ask you this.
Okay.
If you never seen Mahomes do it, right? And Mahomes, you say, hey, we're going to run a play where you're going to run out of bounds or run towards out of bounds, and you're going to throw it with your non-throwing hand to a receiver, and you're going to make a completion because you know Mahomes' skill set. You're going to say, yeah, go ahead, Mahomes, do it. That sounds good. Or did Mahomes just off script do that because somebody was on his throwing arm? He switched it, and did that happen?
Yeah, but D, your scenario just now, you said if Mahomes has never done that before, we've never seen Mahomes do that before, it would be considered a bad throw by Mahomes. We'll say, you know what, he got bailed out. But then we see Mahomes do that like as if he's playing pitch and catch with his son in the backyard. So then we say, you know what, he can make those throws. He can do those off script behind the back, no looks with his off throwing hand. Because Mahomes can do that. Purdy is not that dude. He can't do that like that. Now, can Purdy run out the pocket and do the things he did on Sunday? Yes, he can. I'm not taking nothing away from Purdy. But that play right there, though, D. But D, that play right there, that was a play in which really Jennings bailed him out. That was not a throw that Purdy. You think Purdy's gonna make a living doing those kind of plays like that? No look passes, left hand throws isn't reckless because it's Mahomes.
That is the worst thing ever.
So who else is doing that then, James? Tell me another quarterback.
Why would you do it? Why would you do it?
Because they're not Mahomes. Only certain guys. How many players? You go back to Magic Johnson. How many guys is doing no look passes and throwing and threading needles, or Steph Curry taking 40-footer 3-pointers? Who else is doing that? Only Steph, because he can do that.
Everybody now.
And who's doing it with the measure of success that Steph does it? They can't do that like Steph. And if you know what? And if somebody is doing that like that, trying to be Steph, they're going to get benched. because you don't do that with success. Only Steph can do that. That's what I'm saying. Yo, there's levels to this, D.
I disagree
Listen,
with that. That only
you disagree that there's levels to plays like that are miraculous in the way in which Mahomes do or Steph shooting threes?
So what I'm saying is there is a difference, Rod, from being able to do something and it being the preferred way to do something. There is a difference. Now, just because you have success with it doesn't mean that is the prescribed or preferred way to accomplish something.
I agree with you there. I agree with that. I agree with that.
You just went on a whole tirade about Mahomes should throw exclusively left hand because he did it 5 times.
I didn't say that he should exclusively. I'm saying that when Mahomes does something like that under duress, right? 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times even, it's going to be it's going to be successful because
has he ever been
Mahomes
intercepted throwing it with his left hand?
I'm sure he probably. I don't know. I haven't seen every KC game. Maybe he has been, but you can't tell me that that's a throw that Purdy should make as a young quarterback in a situation like that who don't have the skill set like that. He's not a young quarterback.
Now he's a young quarterback.
Yeah, he's a young quarterback.
You don't give him credit for being NFC Championship game last year and Super Bowl. But when he does an off-script play that was successful.
Because of Jennings, because of him. I tell you what a good throw he made. The one where he breaks the quarterback sack and he hits Juszczyk on the sideline. Good throw, good play. Those are the kind of things I could see. But throwing across your body and throwing it and lobbing it up like it did, that ball could have gotten intercepted. Jennings had to make a one-hand grab. Jennings had to do something on the back end of that play.
That's
when
how
Mahomes
it normally
does stuff
works
like that
with a quarterback. With a quarterback and a receiver, it's usually one has to do one and one has to do the other. But if a guy has to make a one-hand catch like that means that the ball wasn't thrown perfectly. Did you remember in the Super Bowl when Mahomes was all but lateral? He was all but horizontal, throwing dots to Tyreek Hill. The ball's hitting him in the face mask. Throwing dots. You don't remember that, Scrap? You don't remember that? I'm talking about in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, that because Mahomes can throw a dot. That wasn't a dot he threw, D. That was a pass that should have never been thrown. But thank God Jennings made a good play on catching the ball. That's what I'm saying. D, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna shut up. Here's what I'm gonna say. This is all I'm gonna say. Purdy, I feel, hopefully, like Scrap said, you don't do that. You don't erase the mouths of your critics. Purdy, in my opinion, I cannot any longer call him a system quarterback. I will not call him just kind of a managerial quarterback. He is a quarterback that I believe, both against Green Bay, played bad and gutted out a win. Played bad in the first half, per se, if you will, but the whole team was bad. But then you look at what Purdy did in that second half, got opportunities. He ran with his legs. He made the throws that needed to be made. And he carried the Niners into this year's Super Bowl in the second half of that game offensively. It wasn't CMC and Kittles and Debo with the shoulders and all that nonsense. IU, them dudes did not do it. It was all on Purdy. And that's what I say he gets love for. That's the kind of stuff we'll never see Dak do when the lights are on. Purdy to have all that burden on him, he did it. And he saved his coach from getting squashed and ridiculed and ostracized and vilified to the highest degree on Monday morning because Shanahan was doo-doo in that game. And if it wasn't for Purdy to do what he did, all script plays, that's what got them that victory. And salute to Purdy. That's all I'm saying. He got it. But you ain't going to sit here and make him a Mahomes now.
Who is your team? Because I like that you are hiding the little ghost emoji. I like that you're hiding behind our pick winners. Who is your team? Guaranteed your team is out of Super Bowl contention.
I still think he's very green, but you never know. I'm gonna tell you that I don't think he has anything there. Like to me, if Purdy loses to Mahomes, nobody's gonna kill Purdy, bro. Nobody's gonna hurt Purdy. I don't think his young career is in any jeopardy because he's exceeded expectations already. So to lose to Mahomes in a Super Bowl, nobody's going to hurt him. I don't think anybody's going to rag him. And if he happens to have a bad game in the Super Bowl, they're going to just be like, all right, lesson learned. He's going to chalk it up, take it back to the lab, and then he'll come back and do it again if they get back next year. Because I think he's already proven. I mean, the kid is unbothered. I'm going to be honest with you. Against Green Bay, your team, and let me tell you something, D. I know we're going to preview the Super Bowl. But your defense, Wilkes, I'm telling you, son, he better come right because that ain't love. Because Mahomes ain't love and Mahomes ain't golf. And golf played a really good game too, actually.
Did they put up 17 points?
Did who put up 17 points?
Did Kansas City. They won by 17 points.
Yeah, they won by 17.
Let them score 17 on us. Let them score 17 on us. You think, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to you like I said before.
Baltimore's defense is better than y'all's. Baltimore's defense is better than
yours. Is their offense better than ours? Is their offense better than ours? Is my question. You think 17 points is going to keep us from a Lombardi trophy? Are you saying that January?
My point is they're gonna score if Detroit did what they did in that first half and Green Bay for that matter. Y'all defense has not played well in the playoffs.
Who had the number one offense? Who had the
and you think Mahomes? What do you think Mahomes gonna do?
Offense this season.
We're not talking about season. We're talking about season. We talking about in the playoffs. Y'all haven't looked good in the playoffs, D.
Wait. Who had the number one offense this season? This entire season? I know your season is over, but what I'm saying is it's the teams that are still playing in this season. Who had the number one offense?
I think Dallas had the number one scoring offense. We had the number one scoring offense. I don't know overall. So what's your point? What's your point?
My point is this.
Okay.
My point is this.
And they look like the number one offense in that first half.
And they're looking like it on their way back to Detroit. Back to Coney Island.
But my point is, though, to get a hot dog is going to rock that defense if y'all played y'all like y'all been playing.
My question to you is this. Keep in mind they scored 0 points in the second half, right? Keep in mind that. Number 2, we're not going to abandon the run like Baltimore did. Number 3, if you think 17 points is enough to keep the Niners from hoisting a Lombardi trophy, you are out of your mind.
No, it's not. But they can do that against Baltimore because they called a poor offensive game. What
did they abandon that we won't abandon?
They abandoned the run. But D, y'all can't stop the run either. I mean, Aaron Jones ran all over y'all. Gibbs and Montgomery ran all over y'all. They manhandled y'all at the line. So I'm saying.
Today? I'm just saying, where are they today? With all that running, where are they today?
Yeah, no, they lost. So, but I'm saying, but the difference maker is they didn't have a Mahomes. They didn't have a Mahomes. They didn't have a Mahomes. You think Mahomes is going to have a 24-7 lead, and you think he's going to lose? D.
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying no. Of course not. No.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
But my question is this.
That's it.
Tell me who are the dependable weapons on Kansas City? You got Mahomes, right? Best quarterback, right?
You got Mahomes.
Kelsey, best tight end.
Pacheco.
Who else you got? What else you got?
Pacheco's a weapon.
So Pacheco is now he's an
Pacheco's not good. Pacheco's not a good runner. Now you're going to downgrade him, D? Now you're not saying he's a threat.
No, what I'm saying is he an X factor? Is he good enough?
Yes, he can be. Yes.
He's not saying can be. He's saying is he a reliable? He's who are the reliable?
He's reliable.
Because what did he do last week? I'm wondering. What did he do last week?
Who, Pacheco? Pacheco ran all over.
That's what we're talking about. Right now, all of a sudden, he had
a good game against the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
But I'm saying.
They just played in an AFC Championship game.
Oh, my God.
What did Pacheco do last week? What did he do Sunday?
What did he do on Sunday? I got to look at the stats. Let me see what he did. I'll tell you exactly.
Because our running back had 2 touchdowns. So I'm wondering.
This ain't fantasy football. We don't care about the touchdowns. Touchdowns is good.
That's why you're home.
Touchdowns is good. Touchdowns is good, D. I'm saying.
They don't care about touchdowns.
Pacheco had 24 carries for 68 yards, okay, and he had a touchdown, okay? That means he was still effective enough on the ground. It wasn't a great statistical game, but they stuck to the run. He had 24 carries. That's a lot of carries. They stuck to the run, and it was respectable running in order to still keep the pass a threat. And that's what they did. Pacheco don't need to have 150 yards, but y'all defense been getting gashed the last 2 weeks, have they not? Y'all been getting gashed on defense. Y'all looking back, and Thomas, that dude is a liability, bro. That dude is a liability. He is candy. I mean, he got the ball muscled from him from dude. He's D. Y'all better come D. The difference between Green Bay and the difference between Detroit is they don't have a Mahomes. They got better defenses, by the way. Kansas City's a good defense. Number 2 defense in the league.
So they should. So based on what you're saying, they should blow us out, right? Better quarterback, better tight end.
Like we're going right into the preview. We're going right into the preview.
Not. Better quarterback, better tight end, better defense, right?
Yeah.
Better running back, right? Who else?
No, not better running back.
He's
not better
than
He's
Debo
not better
and
than
IU.
No, y'all got better skill players. Y'all got better. Listen, I'm not going to say Debo and those guys aren't better than MVS. You know what I'm trying to say? And Rice and what you call it, the other dude that they got. No, but D, it's Mahomes though. D, that's the thing you keep forgetting. D, did any of us think that they was going to be in a Super Bowl this year? Did anybody anywhere, particularly when they hit that rush? You got Mahomes running after, threatening, doing drive-bys at the referee's house and all that stuff, and wilding out, showing no composure. They're fussing. They're just imploding. They can't score no touchdown. They lost to the Raiders. They lost to Denver this year. They lost to Detroit in the opening of the season when nobody even knew who Detroit still was at that point in time. And they had receivers dropping more than led the league in drops. They couldn't even average 17 points a game for the last 6-7 games of the season. And yet they're in the Super Bowl because of one man.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Because of that dude, Mahomes, and the guy stepping up. And now we see Kelsey. Kelsey's dropping nothing now.
Let me get this straight. Detroit lost to the Niners because of coaching. They went away with what was successful for them. But the Ravens didn't lose to Kansas City because they didn't do what got them there. Or you're saying because Mahomes is so special that it forced the Ravens to go away. And it forced Lamar not to use his legs.
No,
and it forced
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying stop running the ball. So
I
it was
get
all
your
Mahomes.
question.
It was all Mahomes. It had nothing to do with.
No, it was not. No, I agree with you there. But it was a combination of both. But at the end of the day, Mahomes didn't fold under the lights, and Mahomes still. And they actually had another touchdown if number 62 didn't get the holding penalty when Rice scored on the tunnel route there. D. All I'm saying to you is that things happen, like you just said. Things happen. A little bit of luck, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? So that same applies to your victory just the same. You can't shift that in that way. Yes, the Baltimore stopped running the ball, but still you can't take away what Mahomes did. Yes, Detroit, two bad, stupid, aggressive, reckless calls by Campbell and a lucky catch, but you don't take away from what Purdy did. Purdy still won that game.
And a whole game plan that you went away from, right? So give it to you.
Who you talking about, Baltimore or Detroit?
Baltimore's whole game plan they went away from. Their whole game plan.
Yeah.
They were the rushing leaders of the league for the entire season. So they went away from that the entire game.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, okay.
So you saying that if they would have ran the ball, they would have beaten Mahomes?
Rabbit foot, you're talking about IU catch, right? Whether it was a ladybug, a green clover.
He said it.
I know he said it, but you instead of you saying, okay, it still took skill to be, according to you, the defender and the receiver at the same time, you're going to not credit Brock Purdy with that, which it was a pass interference because they didn't throw a flag. How many times have we seen them throw flags and pick them up? Let alone not throw them at all.
He's going for the ball. They would have picked that flag up, D.
So you didn't see the ball. You didn't see him.
He was outrunning the receiver.
You didn't see Ayuk's arm being grabbed. Sometimes when quarterbacks,
that was a little tussle, but that wasn't impeding the play.
So you kept your flag in your pocket at home, right? You didn't throw your flag. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I kept
my
flag. But there wasn't no flag.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it wasn't. But the receivers, the referee still picked it up. See now, D, this is the problem. Scrap, I'm throwing it to you, Scrap. Listen, this is the problem with D. This is what D flip flops. This is what D flip flops. D loves the first.
This is beautiful right here.
It's skill, it's our greatness, it's our ingenuity, it's Debo being all world, it's Purdy who's got all the Bible scriptures, and then it's CFC who scores 500 5-yard touchdown runs and all this stuff, right? But then when something happens, then he wants to bring out the conspiracy. Then he goes, it's just like in golf. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in tennis. They don't want this guy to win.
My stance doesn't change because my team is in it.
They didn't pick up that flag, D, because of the fact that he caught the ball. There was no pass interference on that play.
Have we ever in sports seen a flag not be thrown?
Yeah, but why? But D, okay, but can you admit to this?
You think the Saints in the Rams game? Do you think the Saints in the Rams game a couple of years ago, that blatant pass interference that was never called? Do you think that Did they throw the flag? They didn't even throw the flag.
No, they didn't throw the flag. No,
So
that was
forget
a
about
bad
picking it up.
call. Yeah,
That was a bad call. But you saw it at home, right? Was the flag still in your pocket at home, or did you throw it at home?
No, I threw it at home. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
but they
we
missed
all
that
saw
call.
that. So we can't go by what the refs do or don't do to make it valid whether it was a call or not. If you're tussling, right? Scrap will know this. Last year when we watched the Super Bowl, the play with Bradbury, right?
Bradbury, and he grabbed him around. Well, he grabbed him around the waist.
Around his waist. That was called, right?
Yeah, it was called.
It happened to be a pivotal moment in the game.
It was the right call to make.
It was the right call.
Because it impeded. It impeded. But the guy, the defender for Detroit, D, had position on that ball. Because Purdy technically overthrows Ayuk. So he technically has position, and he's facing the ball. He's backing up to make the catch. It's almost like he could have been fielding a punt almost. So he's backing up the field. He had position. There's no way you're going to call PI, which you can't. And that's why they had to pick the flag up, because technically there wasn't. Wait. And you can tussle a little bit. It just can't impede.
It was thrown on the ground, right?
Yeah, but then they picked it up. Somebody saw that it wasn't the right call. Scrap, what do you think, Scrap? Was that pass interference or not?
That's because he made the catch. That's the reason. Go ahead,
well,
Scrap,
both of y'all got a point. Like they like the way they was running, it was thanks. I didn't know you noticed, James. Thank you for noticing my sexiness. But no, they it was like they let them tussle a little bit, like, you know, long as it's like to Rod's point, if it's not impeding, and to Don's point, you know, you're not supposed to touch the wide receiver after 5 yards, then it becomes you know, illegal contact. But it is a line that they will walk if you don't, you know, impede his, you know, his route or whatever, as long as he's looking back for the ball, because at some point, you know, they both got a right to make a play on the ball. You see what I'm saying? But like I think Don's right. If he wouldn't have caught that ball out, they wouldn't have picked that flag up. Not at home, not in that situation. But since he caught it, they were like, you know what? That was good coverage. We just gonna pick the flag up. But what I will say that I've been saying since our first game, Rod, the most powerful word in sports, even though it only has 2 letters, is if. Because you can take if and create a whole new world of scenarios with the word if. You see what I'm saying? Like
you're right.
Like y'all just went on for about a half hour just off of one if. Just had y'all arguing for a half hour. So I mean, sometimes it don't work. It don't work out the way it probably should have, or you probably wanted it to work out. But yeah, you throw if in there, because we can go if all over the place. If Mitch Williams didn't throw Joe Carter a center cut fastball, Phillies would have 2 World Series. Okay, like if our defensive coordinator makes an adjustment, Eagles got 2 Super Bowls. If Kawhi Leonard's shot don't bounce around the rim 27 times and then go in, maybe the Sixers go to the finals.
Maybe the Sixers go to the finals. Yeah, I feel you on that.
It's so much that you can do with if, and you'll drive yourself crazy if you let yourself. You know,
if that was a good quarterback, you guys would be in the NFC Championship game.
Oh man, here we go. Punch down.
Yeah, no, I am, because I already told you. I told you based on last show. I'm not having mercy. No more mercy.
No more mercy.
No more mercy.
Well, listen.
This season, not next season. And watch what he said. D, if you guys don't win, see that's
if there's that word again.
If
you don't win,
this whole show,
Super Bowl,
he was discrediting
No,
Purdy.
I did not.
No. You were saying it's Mahomes. Mahomes should be able to kick the ball to people to catch. But now
because
he
can
be
do
able
that.
to do soccer kicks to Kelsey. But now if Purdy loses,
rugby passes.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but we know. But D, are you actually though still D? But what I'm saying, D, take the credit where the credit has been given fairly. I'm saying Purdy played well. He grinded out a win against Green Bay without playing well.
I think he played a little more well. He played weller than well.
Better than
well. Weller than
well. I'll even go weller than well. He played weller than well.
He was excellent. He was excellent.
He
can't take that away from that.
I can't take that. Exactly, Scrap. But now he wants to say, did you see the play when Purdy ran to the third row in the stands and he flipped it back with a no look and was able to hit Jennings across the field with 3 guys on him. Like, come on, D.
In Don's defense, let that had been Jalen Hurts did that. I would have said the same thing. Let Dak had did that. You would have been saying, you probably would have had a star painted on your chest with no shirt on.
No, honestly, I would have been like, Dak knows not to throw that ball. Dak rarely don't throw across his body. He's not across the body thrower like that. Dak's gonna throw. If he breaks the pocket, he's gonna stay.
Everything don't work out to the letter how you want to. Sometimes you gotta improvise. You gotta improvise sometimes. And like Don said, sometimes in sports, it's better to be lucky than good. Like, you know, that was a lucky play and they made it. Like, so you can't say nothing but
and I didn't
good
say
play.
that was a plan. Like, lob it over to Jennings and Jennings catch it with one hand. But
I think it was more. I think, but all I'm saying is that I think that play was more attributed to what Jennings did. It's one thing if you throw the ball on the run, throw it across the body, and you happen to find a guy wide open on the other side of the field.
You have somebody in your face, so your depth perception is not going to be as accurate. We know what he does in tight windows, right? But if there is someone coming in your face to hurt you, right? You're not going to be able to see over them. You have to get the ball up and over the person's head.
Yeah.
And if it happens to be
What happened? SKRAPP?
No, I can't. No, something died just said. I got to pause it, but
it was a pause. It was a pause. It's a pause.
I'll see you the clip. I'll see you the clip later. This is a family show.
If it was something
Paul did, listen,
I apologize for all the people that, pause this. But listen, at the end of the day,
I gotta send it. I gotta find it and send it to the group chat. That was hilarious.
It's at we're at 1 hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's
we're wrapping up the show.
But what I say is right before it went off the rail when you were talking about how the athletes how they like to shut their doubters up, so to speak, and they're all worried about the perception of how people view them. Like if you win, like I tell a lot of people, namely my youngin that just dropped 30 the other day. Shout out to Bud. I tell him, shout out to Bud. He dropped 30. But I tell him, in private, and I tell a lot of the kids in private, at no matter what level you play at, there's going to be doubters. So you should stop trying to prove your doubters wrong and continue to prove your supporters right.
I agree.
I agree. Because it's like you're never going to please everybody.
Facts.
Brock Purdy can come out in the Super Bowl, throw for 9,000 yards, have a perfect quarterback rate, and complete every pass. Right. And it'll still be a critic that says, well, if Kittle
he's a
doesn't
system
make
quarterback, right? Yep.
Exactly. You're never going to be able to please everybody. Okay. So at some point you got to say, you know what, doubters, keep doubting. People that believed in me, I'm going to continue to prove you guys right, because that's the less stressful route. Because no matter what you do, like in sports, everybody's going to get criticized. LeBron, he's 60 years old now. He still gets criticized when he don't score 30 points every game. And then when he scores, when he has one of those triple-double, those outstanding games, all the critics are quiet, but the supporters are still like, see, I told you so. It's like you'll drive. I mean, this is what drives sports talk shows such as this one, the debate. But at some point, the athlete himself has to say, I'm just going to focus on my supporters, and I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, it's not. If it was easy to do, everybody would do it. Say, yeah, I know. I'm just going to focus on. But as an athlete, the ego wants you to shut people up. Like you want to shut them up, have them with a crazy look on their face. But I think Lamar. Like Don said, I would have ran. I would have did whatever got me there. Obviously, I know. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like they say, you want to dance with the girl you went to the prom with. I'm running. Well, they can't stop it, so tell them to stop it.
Yeah.
And like T.O., when they used to cry about him celebrating in the end zone, you don't want to see me celebrate. Keep me out the end zone.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. You just gotta stick to what works.
And once you get the hardware, listen. All of the voices that talk on your way to that goal. They get quieter, they get more and more quiet.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I think Purdy is the same.
And just for your point, just a point of reference, Kevin Durant, right? Rod doesn't like him. We're going to be talking basketball in 3 weeks. I love Kevin Durant, but I'll say this: the fact is the people that take away from him. Oh, he's a bus rider. He's a this. He's a that. He's a passenger. He's passenger 57. Whatever number they give him, he has hardware. At the end of the day, he has hardware. Context. He has a league MVP.
Context.
He has 2 MVPs.
Finals.
An NBA final MVPs.
Context.
So scoring titles, like it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, can Barkley ever?
Yes, he can.
You know, we text each other. Barkley could never. He can never
Barkley
say he's a champion.
No, Barkley can never say he's a champion, but that doesn't disqualify his
He can never say
assessment.
he's a Finals MVP.
He can't. But he's a Hall of Famer though, and he's one of the best power forwards to ever do it.
Kevin Durant said he's not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame, but that don't disqualify Barkley from having an assessment in terms of what he played. Barkley played in an era.
Assessments.
Right.
And I'll leave that there. Dot.
Yeah, but he still qualified to do that because Barkley was still one of the best to ever do it. He didn't win, but that don't mean he's not qualified to assess these players. And particularly playing in a harder league during that time than what Durant and these guys are playing in.
You said you wasn't gonna go into the old man get off my lawn thing.
But that's a fact.
Because have the players ever been as skilled as they are now? Is the question.
Yeah, you had a lot of skilled players back then. Olajuwon was a skilled player.
Okay,
I'm talking about you had guys who were skilled.
We're not talking about
athleticism wise.
Yes.
Well, there was a lot of athletes. There wasn't no athletes back then. So you saying Dominique was an athlete, and obviously Jordan was an athlete.
We're talking about the median athlete. I'm not talking about the top tier. I'm talking about, or if you took an average of all of the players from that time, their skill set, their ability to score, right, defend, and you compared it to now. Yeah. What is it better now or back then?
Back then you had better defenders, better passers. You had good shooters back then. Guys like Mark Price and Dan Marley and Michael Cooper and Bird. Those guys can shoot. Look at Detroit. Yeah, Kenny Johnson. All those guys. Those guys can shoot. Vinny Microwave Johnson with Detroit. Guys,
I think nowadays there's more athleticism. Like it'll be like the 12th guy on the bench for some team you don't even know him, but he's in the dunk contest, put the ball between his legs and throwing it off the backboard.
They can't make no passes.
I think it's more entertainment now, but back then the games were more like, I'll say, competitive and more balanced, because that was like the Batman and Robin type of league. Now this generation is like the Avengers. Like everybody want to team up together. Nobody wants to beat anybody. You know, everybody wants to. You know, they don't care. I think nowadays. I mean, we can say this for another show, but I don't think nowadays they want to do the work to say, hey, I beat them. Like back then, like Jordan would have never teamed up with Bird. He would have never teamed up with Magic. He would never, he would have never teamed up with nobody, because he wanted to say, I beat these guys. Not correct. You know, I wouldn't.
Jordan, I agree. Jordan would have never took in his talents,
and nobody did. But but they would have never done that either. But a lot of the guys didn't run up them.
Yeah, a lot of them said that. Even Reggie Miller said that too.
Yeah, he said, I
can't say what he said on here. You know, they said, would you ever team up with him? And he you know. So I mean,
KD did the sucker move.
It was a different time. It was a different time, and now you know the way they do it now is I just want to win. I don't care how.
He wants to make my blood boil at the end of the show.
Oh, about
all
Durant,
good, man.
Yeah, we can say that for the next show. I gotta get ready for work. Yeah, I gotta get ready for work.
Good job, Scrap. We get into there. Good job for Purdy, though. Good job for Purdy.
Let's wrap this show up, man. Put that finger down. Much love, guys. Catch you soon. James, thanks, man.
Yo, much love, James.
Our UK
Later,
affiliate. We appreciate everyone that joined the show.
Yeah.
1777, James, David. What's your uncle's name?
My uncle
Nelson. Buck.
It is Nelson, but that's Uncle Buck. Yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Buck. Yeah. We appreciate you guys joining us.
They call him by his government because I can't disrespect. I don't know him like that. So I had to call him Uncle Nelson.
Right. Exactly.
You can call him Buck.
That's what's up. All right, as long as I get permission. What up, Briggs? I know you came, man. We get ready to close it. Boy, you should have been on this one, man.
Oh man, you should have rewatched
Man, you missed it, Briggs.
Rewatch it.
Yeah, watch the replay and tell me what you think.
I had to
rewatch it from when somebody says.
I had to light Rod up
because
of his disrespect for Brock.
Yeah,
I bet you Briggs will agree with me. Briggs know. He knows. He know them Niners was under pressure, and he knows.
All right, so let me ask him real quick. What is the difference? He was trying to knock the Jennings catch, right? He was knocking the Jennings catch as being luck, but yet said that Patrick Mahomes running out of bounds, throwing it with his left hand is skill because Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Do you agree with that take? I mean, if you think Patrick Mahomes, if you think Andy Reid said, "Hey, run out of bounds and throw it with your left hand," that's the play to do.
So you think
did he improvise? Both of them improvised, and Rod is mad that both were successful. Is my point.
Jennings made that successful, bro. Not Purdy. Jennings made that play successful with the catch that he made.
It takes two. It takes two. We have a quarterback
to make
and
a
a
thing
receiver.
go right.
Both of them have to do their part.
When Mahomes throws off script like that behind the back with the no look with his elbow, is the ball not still accurate? Did you ever see any of his receivers, from what we can remember, his receivers having to dive, to leap 60 feet in the air and catch a ball with their fingernail? No. That's the difference between what we're saying. Mahomes can make those throws with accuracy with his knee. You know what I'm saying? They both make the play.
Sorry to disappoint you, Rod.
He threw with his left hand to avoid the sack. Right. Well, that's what David said. Yeah, I understand that. But that's not something, right? But that's just not something Purdy would trust me. That Purdy's not.
I didn't say Purdy would throw with his left hand. I just gave a comparison of someone improvising and it being successful. But you want to give Mahomes the credit for improvising, and I'm not taking it away from Mahomes. But when Brock Purdy does it, that was more Jennings. That was this. Do you think the receiver, when Mahomes is throwing it, do you think that they expect to receive it from his left hand?
No.
Okay, so
but I tell you what
difference do it make what hand they come from?
The receivers in Kansas City are always on point, and so is the defense. Ready for
work, fellas.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. We're done, Scrap.
If I don't get off right now, I'm gonna be late for work.
You're gonna be late for work. That's true, man. Briggs, come back on through Saturday, Briggs. We'll be back on again.
We're back Saturday.
Purdy had to throw it because Justice wanted to make the catch. Of course. Thank you. And he had pressure in his face. But Rod is not realistic with that.
Yeah, well, right, because he knew the guy could make a throw. But the difference is that when Mahomes does it, it's going to be accurate. Mahomes can still make on-the-spot
throws. You're a Mahomes fan. Now all of a sudden you're a Mahomes fan.
No, I'm just appreciating his greatness. Everybody else takes it for granted. Everybody just assumes like it's like, okay.
Takes it for granted.
I'm just saying, maybe not you per se, but I'm just saying.
He's in 55 commercials. Who's taking them for granted?
Yeah.
You can't, even if you turn your TV off, Mahomes is burnt into the screen.
Okay,
he's on everything. So nobody's taking him for granted.
Right. But D, if you could be honest about what Purdy did, right? That's the first time. You've never seen Purdy make a throw like that ever since he started in the NFL when he took over for Garoppolo, right? You didn't never see him make that throw.
Plays?
And I'm talking all script like that, the throw like that. I ain't never seen him make a throw like that. I'm saying all script plays, yeah. Well, I mean, he's rolled out a couple of times and made some throws and stuff. Yeah, he's done that. But I'm talking about like that, where he has to all but sky hook it with his left hand for a guy to make the catch. Like, that's something we've never seen Purdy do before. So all I'm saying is that
you haven't watched the 49ers play.
I ain't never seen Purdy make throws like that before. That looked unorthodox of Purdy to do. That's normal for a guy like Mahomes to throw like that. But I never seen what you call it do that like that.
Is this horse or are we playing football?
Nah, listen.
I'm wondering if you want.
No, it's
unorthodox plays, or are we trying to win the game?
No, I'm just trying to tell you can't make the comparison between him and Mahomes because that's what Mahomes do. You know what I'm saying? Jennings made a great catch. Purdy threw it high. It would have hit the defender in the back if he threw it to Jennings' chest. Right. So it's all about ball placement.
That's
what Briggs is trying to say.
That's what I tried to tell him. But he's going to listen to you because you and him grew up in East New York. He's not going to listen to me because I'm from Sheepshead Bay. So I said that for 2 hours and he didn't want to listen. But because thank you. I appreciate you telling him the truth. Because I said the same thing. He had to lob it up because the defender was in his face. Brock Purdy, he's not 6'5". So he's He has to throw it up. His depth perception is off because he has a defender trying to hurt him. He has to lob it in. It was a little high. Clearly, Jennings made a great catch.
Listen.
But Rod didn't want to believe that.
No. Listen. While you here, Briggs, let me say Brooklyn bias.
He doesn't want to. I have no cred. I don't have no cred. I gotta be from East New York. And then as soon as someone on East New York gets on here, yo, that's the word. That's the word.
That's the
I'm
word.
like, yo,
right?
what's going on? It's not fair, but it's okay.
It depends on your exit off Belt Parkway, whatever exit you're
going to Vegas. We going to Vegas. We not.
But I'm gonna tell this to Briggs. I'm gonna tell this to Briggs while he's here. I said it to Don Briggs. Purdy has gotten my respect. He has my full respect. I can't knock Purdy anymore. I'm not gonna call him a system quarterback no more. I am a believer that now Purdy is truly what I believe to be a really, really good franchise quarterback who can put a team on his back and win. And how do I say that? And why do I say that? Because he did it in the playoffs. This is in week 4. This is in an NFC championship game. And he played bad last week. And he still grinded and gutted out a win. So listen, I'm going to give credit where credit's due, D. Purdy's the man. If Purdy loses in the Super Bowl, I don't think it changes. Shouldn't change anything about him. I think it steps to this. He's going to learn more. And if he wins, then you know what, bro? You got to put him in there. Actually, to tell you the truth, he's behind Mahomes. It's Mahomes and then Purdy, right? Because he'll have a ring. Burrow didn't win. Herbert ain't been nowhere. Old boy from Jacksonville ain't been nowhere. Okay. Allen didn't win. He didn't get to the Super Bowl. So if Purdy wins the Super Bowl, he's the number 2 quarterback in the league behind. Y'all hear it first, right here. I'm saying this.
No, we don't want this. We don't want these fake.
Nothing fake.
Accolades. You don't want no, because I don't believe it. I don't believe what you're saying.
Why you don't believe it? I can't refute that.
We just have an hour and 40 minutes of you telling me that everything he did was
that was one play.
He had a rabbit foot. No. Right. Ayuk's play, which was a pass in the
that was for the game.
But
that game, the Ayuk's play, that play, and the fumble by Gibbs going the wrong way, getting the handoff. Those 2 plays right there, those very 2 plays changed the whole momentum. Besides the stupid aggressive calls by. But D, you can't deny that didn't play a part in y'all's victory. Come on, D.
But when
that didn't play a part.
Of course it did. Of course, those were momentum shifters. I'm not trying to say that they weren't, but he still had to execute. He was still down by 17 points. Whatever you want to say, he was the driving force for this victory. So based on that, you got to give him his respect.
I did, and I'm saying I did, but I'm just trying to say.
It was hard. It wasn't easy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. But if Detroit, if Campbell doesn't make these reckless decisions, no. But all I'm saying, but D, okay, let me ask you a question.
Did you get the number 2 seed by those same decisions?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so
and that only goes to show Dallas does not get the number 2 seed if he does. And you've been saying it all year, ever since we were doing that game.
And you wind up not getting it because you were 1 and done.
Right, but what I'm trying to tell you is that
to you and then took it back.
But
they said, "Here, you can have the number 2 seed."
But that's your point.
Oh, you don't want it? Okay, we'll take it back.
Right,
and we'll host 2 playoff games.
Okay, so if Campbell wasn't reckless in that game against Dallas, right? If he wasn't reckless, Dallas doesn't get the number 2 seed. If Campbell wasn't reckless
at the time, Detroit had an opportunity to win the number 1 seed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So,
again, and you said it all week. If Campbell makes one of them bite the kneecap decisions, which he did twice. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think he did it 3 times. Although I'm not going to kill him for the play before the half. Okay, I'm not going to kill him. And another bad play was that second down run in the 4th quarter when they was down at the goal line. Stupid play. You don't run the ball. Why are you running a trap? Well, you could have did a crack toss to Gibbs, and he would just ran right around the end zone.
Let me tell you, they got
that was dumb.
They have
killed the timeout right there.
They have OC jobs open. Why don't you put your resume in? Since you got all the answers.
He's going to stay.
You got the W.
He's going to stay.
I know you want. Yeah, he is going to stay because I mean they're going to try to bring it back.
They're going to try to run it back.
Even though Campbell said the truth, it's going to be even harder for them to get to it next year.
Oh, it is.
They're not guaranteed.
No, they're not. They're not.
It took us 4 years to get back to this point, and I think we're going to make good with it this time.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Listen.
17 points will not be enough.
You need to be concerned by the way your defense is playing, though, D. Wilkes has kept y'all under pressure this year. He ain't been D'Amico and he ain't been Salah. He has, even though Salah lost the Super Bowl, I think he was y'all DC, right? At the time when y'all lost to them the first time in 19.
Correct.
But D, listen, if your defense don't look good, you give Mahomes a 24/7 lead going into the halftime, it is a wrap.
It won't happen that way.
It's a wrap.
That way.
I'm just saying,
let me tell you what I think we'll do. If we win the toss, I think we're going to go first. We're going to take the ball. We're not going to kick it off to them. That's what I think. One thing we will do against Mahomes. We respect them enough. Jared Goff, at the end of the day, he has glimpses of he could turn back into a pumpkin. But
not in that game though, D.
No, he looked good.
I think Goff played very well in that game.
History. I'm talking about
it's history. Okay. I'm sorry.
We're gonna look to be ultra aggressive and get points up to put the pressure back on Kansas City to score. And see what happens. I think Kelsey, I think, will Kelsey have the numbers he had last week against us? No, I don't think so.
Why you say that? Why that?
He's going to go 9 for 9 in the first quarter?
You don't think that's possible? D, the way y'all secondary has been looking, the way y'all been looking in coverage,
possible.
D, you don't think that's possible?
Not possible.
Why? Especially if they get the running game going.
We're going to actively work to take him away. So Kelsey can't be taken away? He's 35 years old. He can't be taken away. He can't be bracketed.
Who is taking him away? Who's taking him away, especially when the stakes are high and the lights are on? Who's taking Kelsey away? Y'all defense, D, let's just be honest. Y'all defense is good. Your front seven is good. And Greenlaw and Whichcomb are good. But D, your back end is suspect, bro. And you know they will find ways to get it. And trust me.
We don't have a
who you taking?
Right?
Are you taking Andy Reid?
Is Ward all pro?
It's who? Warren is all pro. Unanimous at that. Yeah, unanimous all pro. Yeah, that's okay.
And how did
so you gonna have him in coverage? Because
you
know Andy Reid can scheme it up, bro.
Did we take away the sun god last week? How was his numbers in the second half? We don't want to deep dive into Amon-Ra St. Brown. How did he look this game? How did he do?
No, Amon played well in the first half. The second half, Detroit barely had the ball. The second half, they never got any momentum. If we would just be honest, they only ran the ball 8 times. And D, they didn't get the momentum.
He's not a running back; he's a receiver. So why wasn't he getting the ball?
D, because they never got into a rhythm. They never really got into a rhythm.
Had nothing to do with that, though, right?
No, I don't think y'all necessarily. I don't want to say y'all actually did. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me look at his. Let me just look and see what he did here. Okay, Amon St. Brown. Let's see here. He had 7 catches for 87 yards. Now I don't know where that was in relationship to what half that was in. He had 11 targets in that game, so only 7 catches. So y'all kind of limit him to half of it, almost. Well, that's more than half actually. So. I mean, I don't think y'all necessarily stopped him. I just think the whole team didn't play well in the second half. They only ran the ball 8 times. Like Briggs said, the fumble D was a big fumble. That was a big fumble. That was big. That took a lot of. Then that's when you knew the game was lost because they wasn't going to have enough to overcome the momentum, the crowd.
Was the fumble caused, or was it, or did he just lose?
Well, I'm honest. We could be honest about it. I don't think he had
stripped it.
Somebody stripped the ball out of his hand, but he never really had the ball. I mean, when he handed the ball, he went the wrong way. He was supposed to go to the other side of Goff. He went to the left side instead of the right side of Goff, and that messes up the exchange. So he never really had the ball. But I
fair exchange is not robbery, right? A fair exchange. They should have just exchanged it, right?
And David is right. The secondary is the weakest part. D, I'm telling D. Y'all got holes in. You mean to tell me you're not concerned about y'all defense coming into this game somewhat, D, the way y'all play against Love and Goff? Love played very well against y'all, D.
So I'll say this. I'm not as concerned about Kansas City's run game as you are. I'm not concerned with that. I think in the pecking order, Detroit's running backs with Montgomery and Gibbs and Aaron Jones are better than Pacheco? Absolutely. I think so. So, yeah, they started in the case of Aaron Jones. He had a good first half, was shut down basically in the second half. He had one long run that put him over 100, right? So and prior to that, 51 games without allowing a running back to go over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Fast forward to last week. They had two good running backs. David Montgomery is a very good running back, and Gibbs is a running back. They did really well. They had a good first half, over 100 yards in the first half. But luckily, it's a 4-quarter game, like I told your brother. 4 quarters. So in the second half, they didn't do that. We made adjustments. Teams make adjustments.
I don't.
And we made an adjustment. And we were ultimately, whatever the reason they got away from the run, they did. And we can't.
So that's not an adjustment then. That's not an adjustment. Y'all didn't make, I don't think y'all made, honestly, I don't think y'all made an adjustment. Y'all had 2 quick scores, D. The lucky catch, the fumble.
Oh, Gibson stripped it. Okay, thank you. Gibson stripped it.
Gibson. Okay. They had those 2 plays brought them to the goal line. Right there. That's 14 points right there. This is why it was so bad for them not to take the field goal earlier. But those 14 points right there, D, that was it. So now the pressure falls on Detroit, and for whatever reason, they got away from the run. They only ran the ball 8 times. It's not in the second half. And I don't think it's because y'all made an adjustment. I think because the offense played, y'all got the points, y'all had the momentum, and they just couldn't figure it out at that point. And let's not forget Reynolds Rap, who dropped 2 key first downs. The one on the third down, and of course the 4 and 2. Those are bad plays. Come on, D. You can't get your defense. I'm not going to say. I am going to say y'all defense. It wasn't your defense. I think their offense.
Right? It's bad, right? Yeah, it's bad.
No, their offense. No, their offense.
What we do? What we do?
Y'all
against
defense
the Cowboys?
Ain't do none of that.
What we do against the Cowboys? What we do against the Cowboys?
Who, the Niners? Let's go 42.
Who are we talking about? Yeah, the Niners.
Yeah, but that
NFC champs. What did we do against the Cowboys?
That game ain't mean nothing. That game was meaningless. I'm talking about right now in these. D, let me tell you something. If y'all don't win a Super Bowl, you've been saying it all year long. Is this season a failure, D? What difference does it make? If y'all don't win a Super Bowl, y'all no different than us. You ain't different than SKRAPP and his Eagles. You ain't any different than Dave and his Patriots.
And you know what I say, right? You know what I say about that, right?
We're gonna say that's 4 Super Bowls.
I've said this many times. In the case of getting to the Super Bowl, of course you want to win, right? But it is better to have loved and have lost than not to have loved it all.
Oh my God!
So I would much rather get to the Super Bowl and lose.
You've been talking about confetti all year long.
Be the number 2 seed and be one and done.
D.
That doesn't making that statement doesn't change the fact that confetti is going to fall on us.
So you gonna get a trophy for that? You gonna get a ring because you outdid a number 2 seed? You went further than the expectations of a number 2 seed? No. So what are we going for?
We're gonna win this year.
You better win, D. You better win, because if you don't win, you ain't no different than the Cowboys and the Eagles and anybody else.
No, we are different. We are different than them.
It ends up the same. It ends up the same, D. Okay. D, what did you say all year long? It's about confetti.
It's about February.
That's it. So you never said anything about we get further than y'all.
February 11th. That's what it's about. It's about confetti falling on us. It's about
look what Briggs said. Briggs said a Super Bowl win or it's a bust season, in my opinion. And why would that be, D? Y'all done been to 4 straight. Y'all been to 4 straight champ or 4 of the last 5. You lost the Super Bowl. You didn't get out of 3 NFC championship games. Come on, D. At some point,
you're gonna count last year. You're gonna count him losing, and we have 4 quarterbacks in there. You're gonna count that.
D, you're going with the if. That's the if. SKRAPP told us about the if. He preached the gospel according to if. You can't do if.
I'm saying, Brock
I'm gonna count that. Yeah, I'm gonna count that.
Was injured.
No, I'm talking about the 49ers in general, but I'm talking about the Niner team in general. I mean, you still came up short no matter what. Now, I think if Purdy was playing, I would have won.
Would you switch with the Cowboys? Would you switch with the Niners to have this opportunity right now? If you could switch, would you switch to have the opportunity to, according to you, lose the game? Would you have that? Would you take that?
I would only say yes because the expectations for the Cowboys, to me, are not the same as the Niners. The Niners are a better team. They have had more success playoff-wise. And they are expected to at least now try to win a Super Bowl with Shanahan and now his quarterback, Purdy. You can't have this much success and be this deep in the playoffs year after year and not win deep. You got to win a Super Bowl at some point. At some point, you're going to have to say, okay, we can't keep getting to an NFC championship and losing there or getting to a Super Bowl and lose. You got to win.
Did we have Brock Purdy in 2019?
No, but Jimmy G was.
Did
there.
we have
He
CMC in 2019? Did we have
Oh my God!
Did we have Trent Williams in 2019?
Well, y'all in the Super Bowl, D? Was y'all better than any NFC team that year, and you represented the conference in the Super Bowl? So come on, and you were up by 10 in the fourth quarter. So don't give me the CMC and the Purdys and who wasn't there.
Let me tell you the difference. Let me tell you the difference. The difference is our quarterback is more accurate. Number
right,
two, our quarterback is more accurate. Number two, when given an opportunity, remember Jimmy G threw an interception, so he is more accurate and he doesn't take the risk that he is careful with the football. He's not going to throw interceptions.
I agree with you there. He's way better than
given the example when he had the what's the receiver's name? It's escaping me now. The receiver straight down the middle, he overthrew him when he really could have sealed the game. That pass potentially would have sealed our championship. So listen,
they should have.
At the end of the day, time will tell. 2 weeks from now, less than
Sanders.
2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
Sanders,
that was Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah,
Emmanuel Sanders. Yes.
Yeah.
So Purdy makes that pass. In my opinion, Purdy makes that pass.
I don't know. I don't see Purdy. I don't know. I don't see him really make a lot
Have
of
you watched
like
him throw? You must not. So you don't watch. You got the Sunday.
I don't see. I see a lot of crossers.
You don't see what he does.
I don't see him a straight up down the seam go route. I never seen him make those go route throws. I've never seen Purdy make those throws. In fact, that throw that he did where Ayuk got the ladybug catch. That's what we're gonna call it. The ladybug catch was a throw. D. That was that really wasn't a good throw.
First time you've seen him throw go routes to Ayuk is what you're saying?
I see crosses to Ayuk a lot. I don't see a lot of those. I don't see a lot of those go routes to Ayuk. Now, again, I don't know the PFF or next gen stats on that. That's something that maybe we can research and see.
Our credibility is going down.
We can look at his. Why don't we look at his percentages and see how many routes, what routes that Purdy makes his throws on? I'm sure there's plenty of statistics on that. Purdy is not accurate at all. He has small hands and the ball gets away from him most of the time. I mean, he does. But listen, I'm not going to knock Purdy.
See, this
Purdy
is why we can't,
played a good. But I don't mean I can't still point out some flaws. He still got flaws.
This is why we can't believe what he says. As soon as somebody that is a Patriots fan that won't sniff an AFC anything for the next 10 years says something, sides with him. Yeah, his hands are small. They're only 8s. And I think he only has 9 fingers. Like anything to take away from Brock Purdy, they'll do. So
I'm not taking
let me close the show. Let's close the show because
I give you credit for Purdy, man.
But then as soon as David says something, you jump right on that.
But listen.
He's not accurate.
Let me retract.
Wait a minute.
I'm not gonna say he's
not
accurate.
Let's talk facts now. Is Brock Purdy accurate?
I believe he's an accurate quarterback. I disagree with you on that, Dave. Now, maybe small hands. His hands are small. They are what they are. So maybe you're right on that. I never really looked at his hands. He doesn't. I know he has a problem throwing wet balls, but most good quarterbacks have a problem throwing a wet ball.
You're not a Patriots fan. You're a Tom Brady fan. So you have no team now, right?
Oh man, nah, Dave, that don't work now. Dave, now come on, Dave. You gotta be a team.
You shouldn't even be in this conversation. You have no team.
You gotta have a team. You gotta have a team now, Dave. Come on, Dave. I'm working with you, Dave. You gotta have a team, though, man.
To quote Avon Barksdale, you are a man with no country. That's who you are. You have no team. From The Wire, Avon Barksdale said, yo, you're a man with no country. So you're a Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady is somewhere playing with his kids.
Yeah.
So you really shouldn't be in this conversation anymore.
You gotta have a team.
You just shot yourself in the foot. You should have just kept going with it. You should have just kept, and he's my cousin, but I gotta call him out. You gotta call him out, yeah. So what are we talking about?
That's the only thing, Dave.
Fan.
Okay,
let me put that up so it is forever in the archives. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Tom Brady fan. Knock it off.
Yeah, you gotta be a fan of a team, man.
Still searching after Tom. Yeah, I bet you are.
I'm still searching after Tom.
I bet you are.
You've been looking for a long time, bro.
Accuracy. That is a horrible.
I disagree with that.
Not accurate at all. That is
not at all. You can't put that at all. Okay, I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
No, you agreed with him.
No.
You know what happens.
Listen.
Small.
Only thing I'm gonna say with
Purdy
Purdy
is he doesn't need to be Kawhi Leonard in order to throw the ball. Like he doesn't have his hands don't have to be
Kawhi.
big. Is he
Kawhi
accurate?
got bad hands, yeah.
I mean, Kawhi's hands are like whatever, but he doesn't have to have those hands in order to be accurate and be a successful quarterback. But in any
No,
case,
he does not. No, he does not. He doesn't have to be.
Oh man.
But
Rod,
yeah, man.
You worked me up, and this is not even going into Super Bowl week. I'm going to come prepared. You better be prepared for that pregame show.
I'm ready for the pregame. Listen.
You better be prepared because I am coming with both barrels.
Yeah, listen.
Right, both barrels.
Both barrels.
Both barrels. I'm coming with both barrels.
Both barrels.
But listen.
Oh gosh.
It's all good, man.
Oh gosh. It's all good, D.
Shout outs to Kingdom Creative
Kingdom
for
Creative
the
in the house.
production. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Once again, everyone, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. We appreciate everyone. Even the people without teams that joined us today. We appreciate all of that. The men without countries that joined us.
The men without countries. Nah, the men without countries.
We appreciate you guys joining us. And once again, I want to give my parents, Alvin and Lorraine, a shout out. 55 years of marriage. Happy anniversary to my parents.
Happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary to them.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
It is fantastic. I appreciate them.
Love y'all.
Without them would be no me, right?
Yeah.
But that says two things. They've been married for a long time. They are getting old, and I'm getting old, right? Because I'm the baby, right? So in any case, we appreciate everyone joining us. Thank you, Briggs. I appreciate it.
Briggs. No doubt. You came in. You got the tail in. Yeah. Good show, D.
Rewatch it. It's a lot of fire.
Watch the show. We was going in.
A lot of fire.
We was going in. I gave Purdy
shout outs
love,
to SKRAPP for being on the show. We appreciate him.
We
appreciate everyone that contributed and joined.
Yeah.
James, our UK affiliate. Briggs. David
came through. David in the house. Mr.
Uncle
Brady.
Buck. Everybody.
Uncle
we appreciate
Buck. Everybody's in there. 17. What was it? 1717. Whatever it was.
1777 with no team.
1777 memorabilia.
Yeah, he's another. He don't want to give his team up. He's another one without a country.
Right.
So it's all good, man. We appreciate
Maybe the Carolina fan or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, everyone. Peace.
Peace.